How can we better plan our commercial pilot long, solo, VFR by the way, cross country? Hey everyone, Jason Shepard here, MzeroA.com, and you are listening to the Commercial Pilot Podcast brought to you by our #1 rated online ground school, groundschoolacademy.com, to check it out and learn more. And as you all know, the Ground School Academy is getting a major facelift. Just so excited about that. You know, the new learning management system is coming out, new remote pilot initial, remote pilot recurrent, private instrument, new private and instrument boot camps as well. Commercial pilot will be getting a facelift in 2021. And we're already talking about that ever-desired CFI course as well. The team's actually in the process of working and writing that right now. So just some very cool things as you are working either towards being a commercial pilot or just working towards being the best commercial pilot you can be. Today's segment is really geared towards this idea of you're an aspiring commercial pilot, and perhaps you haven't done your long solo VFR being a key word there, cross country just yet. And I remember mine. I was based in Massachusetts at the time. I was able to do the Hudson River VFR corridor, and everything else just was an amazing experience to be able to do that for my long solo VFR cross country. And let's read a little bit from the regs that talks about this a little bit. I'm reading from part 61. In here, under our commercial pilot requirements, one cross-country flight of not less than 300 nautical miles total distance, with landings at a minimum of 3 points. Now here's the catch. One of which is a straight line distance of at least 250 nautical miles from the original departure point. However, if this requirement is being met in Hawaii, the longest segment needed to only be a straight line distance of 150 nautical miles. So that is what we're talking about when I'm mentioning this long cross country. So it needs to be 3 points. And one of those segments needs to be 250 nautical miles from the departure. So how most people do this, it's long. I think mine was like 8 hours on the Hobbs because it was in a Cessna 150. That's why I'm like, I'm going to do this on the cheap. I'm going to do it in the 150. Well, yeah, per hour it's cheap, but when it takes you 8 hours to do it, it'd have been just as expensive to do it in the 172, and I would have done a lot sooner. But hey, I wanted the flight time. I wanted the 8.0, is what it really is. For us and for most people, you depart your airport, you head out 250 nautical miles, then you hit another little airport on the way back, and then another little airport on the way back, and make your way on in from there. Or just head back to your airport of departure from there. It's typically that kind of out and back with a stopover in between. Now, the reason they say from your departure is some people, I mean, if you're lucky enough, maybe you're ferrying an airplane or something going home, have one leg be 250 nautical miles, a stop at another airport thereafter. You cannot break up this 250 nautical mile leg. Like, you can't break it up. So don't say, I hit my 3 points, but not have the 250 nautical mile leg. So make sure you have that in there. Now, here's another little bit, and I'm going to go back to the regs for this one. It talks about the solo time. You ready? So this is under the 10 hours of solo flight time in a single engine airplane, or 10 hours of flight time performing the duties of a pilot in command in a single engine airplane with an authorized instructor on board, which may be credited towards flight time requirement under this paragraph they're talking about here. And this is where the one cross country comes into play. The big cross country. There's other actually mentioned dual cross countries. This was added to the regs not too terribly long ago, where they talk about a supervised solo, essentially, because think about this. What if you were doing your commercial airplane multi-engine land, also known as a camel? We've been joking. Eric Deagle is one of our phenomenal members, so he posted in the group. He became a camel, commercial airplane multi-engine land, not too long ago. What if you're doing your commercial airplane multi-engine land as your initial commercial certificate and your first time earning a multi as well? You didn't do private multi. You can't solo that airplane, can you? I can't solo the Seminole or the Seneca or whatever I'm flying. I can't solo that because, well, I'm not even a multi-engine pilot yet. Let alone insurance would never in a million years touch you, would they? But you're not even a multi-engine pilot yet. So of course that can't happen. But you can do your commercial multi first. And how you get around that, and how you do that is in part 61 here. I can do this same long cross country, 250 nautical miles, at least one leg of those with 3 different airports in there, VFR. I can do that, and I can do it with an authorized instructor. And how did let's get the regs in here correct again. Or 10 hours of flight time performing the duties of a pilot in command. To put in plain English, it's a supervised solo, meaning they are just watching you perform the duties of pilot in command. Does that make sense? So you can do it. It doesn't have to be solo, especially there's many people. In fact, it's a path I like. Let you do your commercial airplane multi-engine land first, and then do the single engine add-on afterwards. And I mean, commercial multi adds a lot of different, perspectives and VMC demos and single engine landings and single engine approaches and those sort of things. And it doesn't have a lot of the flight maneuvers. It doesn't have the 8s-on pylons and those sort of things that you have in the single engine add-on. So it allows the single engine add-on to be very, very focused. It's 0.5 of a check ride. It's a very, very easy check ride. Just show me some commercial maneuvers. And you can do the single engine add-on quite easily. That's a path I often recommend people go. It's a path I wish I would have went. I went the more traditional route. This is back, I'm older than I look. This is back in the olden days where we did it, in a 172, in a 150, last 10 hours in a complex airplane, and then did our check ride in that complex airplane. Then we did the multi-engine add-on, which was just flying to commercial pilot standards in a brand spanking new airplane, at least new to me, like in the Seminole, or I did mine in a Seminole. And it was a challenge. It was a lot of fun, but it was a challenge. I kind of wish someone would have encouraged me, and I was in a 141 program at this time. I don't know if that was even an option. I wish I would have done my commercial multi first and did the single engine add-on. I believe it kind of makes for everybody who says they want easier check rides, a check ride is going to be difficult no matter what really happens with that. It's a check ride is only as difficult as you make it and as you choose to actually see it and make it with that. So anyways, future commercial pilots, a short commercial pilot podcast for you all today. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this. Don't forget, we also have the private pilot podcast, the instrument pilot podcast, and the CFI certificated flight instructor podcast. All this month, we're in this flight planning series. I hope you're able to watch a lot of that and just learn and grow in your aviation journey as well. So thank you for just being a blessing to myself, my family, this amazing MzeroA team and family as well. You are a part of that family, and family takes care of family. If there's anything at all we can do, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you.